Okay, so let's start with something kind of weird I noticed. Have you ever, thought about how tragedy seems to just love morning rush hour?
In what sense?
Well, specifically heart attacks. When you look at the numbers, it's like almost half of them, 50%, happen between 6 a.m. and noon.
Ah, right.
Yes.
Yes, that timing isn't random at all, actually.
It isn't.
No, it lines up almost perfectly with when our bodies naturally peak in stress hormones. That big push to wake up, get going. That floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline.
Okay, great for, I don't know, escaping a lion, maybe?
Exactly. But pretty terrible for your arteries day to day.
Right.
Those hormones, they act like tiny troublemakers. They put the body on high alert, and yeah, they significantly increase the risk of blood clotting.
Wow.
It's why, extreme emotional stress, like, say, losing a loved one, suddenly that broken heart syndrome thing can spike the immediate risk of a cardiac event by something like 2,000%. The
Right.
body just overreacts.
That's staggering. Okay, so our mission then, it seems, is finding a better defense system. Something that avoids that internal panic button, but without, the scary side effect package that comes with some of the usual options.
Precisely. We're looking for the ultimate artery defender. And to do that, we first need to clear up a really common misconception about the real danger.
Gotchas.
Most people think heart attack, stroke. They picture cholesterol slowly building up for years, like sludge in a pipe.
Yeah, the slow, inevitable traffic jam in your arteries.
Kind of. But the data, it shows that about 80% of major events aren't just from the slow buildup. They happen because of a sudden clot.
A clot.
Yeah, forming right where some of that unstable plaque has just broken off or ruptured. It's not the traffic jam itself. It's the sudden catastrophic pileup it causes.
Okay, and this pileup, that's where platelets come in, right?
Well,
Little emergency responders.
exactly. They rush to the site of injury, or perceived injury in this case, and they start sticking together.
Creating that super glue we talked about.
That's a good way to put it. A thick, sticky mass. And when that blocks an artery already narrowed by plaque, well, that's the crisis.
Right. And for ages, the main way we've dealt with the superglue problem is aspirin.
The old guard, yeah. Aspirin.
I mean, it's been used in some form for, 4,000 years? Saved countless lives just by thinning the blood, making those platelets less sticky.
It has. It's undeniably powerful.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the fine print, and that's become a bigger deal recently.
Yeah, after 2022, the recommendations changed quite a bit for some people, didn't they?
They did, because even low-dose aspirin isn't without risk. We're talking bleeding ulcers or, much more seriously, bleeding in the brain.
Yikes. That's the classic pharmaceutical trade-off, isn't it? Fix one big problem, potentially create another.
Well, and it's important to get the nuance here for listeners. The big change was mainly about stopping routine use for primary prevention.
Meaning people with no history of heart issues.
Exactly. If you've never had an event, the risks of aspirin might outweigh the benefits. But for secondary prevention, people who've already had a heart attack or stroke, aspirin is often still absolutely vital. It's about balancing those risks.
Okay, that makes sense. And then there's the other player, warfarin.
Right, warfarin. It works differently. It blocks vitamin K1.
And blocking vitamin K1 does what exactly? Stops the superglue.
Pretty much. Vitamin K1 is crucial for your liver to make some of the key proteins, the clotting factors, needed to form that clot in the first place. So warfarin basically shuts down part of the production line.
Oh, okay. More comprehensive.
Yeah, very. But that's also why it needs such careful monitoring, dietary changes, all that stuff.
Right. Which nicely sets up our quest. Can we find something that stops the clot before the superglue ingredients even get mixed properly, and do it without messing with essential vitamins or risking major bleeding?
And this is where we turn to nature. There's a family of compounds showing amazing results. Omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah.
Specifically, we need to zoom in on EPA.
EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid.
That's the one. It's really the workhorse of the omega-3s in this context.
Okay, so how does it stack up? Can EPA really reduce clotting like low-dose aspirin? That seems like a huge claim for something natural.
The research says yes. In terms of reducing that unwanted pathological clotting, studies show EPA's effect is comparable to low-dose aspirin.
Wow.
But here's the crucial difference, the really elegant part, how it works. Aspirin fights the stickiness after the platelets are already primed.
Like trying to unstick fingers covered in actual superglue? A bit
Wait.
late.
EPA works before that. It actually gets incorporated into the platelet cell membranes themselves. It replaces a key ingredient in the superglue recipe, if you will.
So wait, it changes the platelets themselves, makes them less
Yeah,
sticky from the start.
exactly. The platelets are still there. They can still respond to a serious wound, but they're just inherently less reactive in the context of minor arterial damage or inflammation. The superglue mixture just isn't as potent.
Is that effect like immediate or does it build up?
That's a great question. No, it's not immediate like a drug. It takes time, usually weeks or months, for the EPA levels to build up in your cell membranes and displace the more inflammatory fats.
Okay.
But once you achieve that level, the effect is consistent. It lowers the baseline risk, the overall reactivity.
That sounds much more sustainable. And you're saying it's not just about the clots, it actually helps the underlying plaque issue too.
It absolutely does. A key reason plaque becomes dangerous and ruptures is inflammation. EPA is a powerful anti-inflammatory,
Ah.
so it helps stabilize that vulnerable plaque. Less inflammation means less chance of it breaking off and causing that sudden blockage. It cools things down.
Is there solid data on that? Like studies?
Oh, yeah. A major study back in 2019, pretty significant one, showed patients on high-dose EPA had less plaque overall, much lower inflammation markers, and this is the big one, a 25% reduction in cardiovascular events.
25% just from EPA.
Just from optimizing that fatty acid profile. It's a huge
Yeah.
impact.
Okay, this is wild. And now connect it back for me to that awful morning statistic, the 6 a.m. heart attack peak. You said there's a connection.
Yes. This is my favorite part, actually, because EPA doesn't just work mechanically on the platelets and plaque.
It does something else.
It works on the stress response itself. Studies show EPA can help mitigate the release of cortisol and adrenaline,
No way. The actual stress hormones?
the very ones that drive that morning clotting risk we talked about at the start.
Yeah.
So EPA is hitting both the trigger, the stress response, and the mechanism, the platelet stickiness and inflammation.
That's incredible. It's like it calms down the whole system.
It really points towards a more holistic approach, doesn't it? Maybe the risk isn't just diet, but also, how frantic your morning feels. If EPA helps buffer that internal panic, that's a game changer.
Okay, so EPA is key. We know we can get it from fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, good stuff, fish oil supplements too. But you teased us. You said there's one source that takes it to the next level, the ultimate artery defender. I feel like we need a drum roll, but I suspect it's not going to be glamorous.
Probably not what you're expecting, no. Forget the exotic Amazonian berries, the single best food source, arguably, cod liver oil.
Cod liver oil, seriously, like the stuff my grandma used to talk about.
Or even just canned cod liver itself, provided it's wild caught. That's the gold standard.
Wow. Okay, so why? What makes plain old cod liver oil the next level beyond just the EPA?
It's a synergy. It's the package deal. You get that crucial EPA plus two other vital fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A and vitamin D.
All right, well, let's break that down. Vitamin A first. What's its role here? We usually think skin and eyes, right?
Right, but think internal skin too. Vitamin A, the active form, retinol, is critical for repairing and maintaining the lining of things inside your body. Your sinuses, your gut, your lungs, and yes, crucially, the inner lining of your arteries, the endothelium.
Ah, so if the artery line is healthier, smoother?
Exactly. There are fewer rough spots for platelets or plaque to grab onto in the first place. It helps maintain the integrity of the vessel wall itself. Plus, it has its own anti-inflammatory effects, and animal studies suggest it can help reduce plaque formation. It's foundational work.
Okay, fixing the road surface. Got it. Now, vitamin D. I've heard amazing things about vitamin D lately.
The data is pretty stunning. Get this.
Sure.
One study looked at over 1,000 different compounds to see what best protected that inner artery lining, the endothelium.
1,000, okay.
And the single most effective compound they found, vitamin D.
Wow, out of 1,000, that's huge for a
It
vitamin.
really is a mic drop moment, like you said.
So what's it doing? How does it protect the arteries so well?
Well, beyond just protecting from damage, it seems to actively improve artery function. It helps decrease stiffness, making arteries more flexible.
That sounds important.
Very. It also boosts nitric oxide production, which is really helpful for relaxing blood vessels and managing blood pressure. And it helps stabilize plaque, similar to EPA. But it does something else too, regarding calcification.
Calcification, like
Huh.
arteries turning hard.
Exactly, hardening of the arteries. Vitamin D plays a role here, but this is where we need to mention its essential partner, vitamin K2.
Okay, another vitamin.
Yes, and it's crucial when you're taking vitamin D, especially higher doses. Think of it like this. Vitamin D helps you absorb calcium from your diet, which is good for bones.
Right.
But you need vitamin K2 to act like a traffic cop. It directs that calcium into your bones and teeth where it belongs, and importantly, keeps it out of your arteries and other soft tissues where you don't want it building up and causing hardening.
So D and K2 work together to manage calcium properly.
Precisely. That synergy is key for preventing arterial calcification. Cod liver oil gives you the D, but you need to ensure you're getting K2 from other sources too, like certain cheeses, natto, or supplements for that full benefit.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this all up. If we pull everything together from this deep dive, it sounds like the smartest play isn't just damage control with drugs after the fact.
Right.
It's about being proactive,
Wow.
using that anti-superglue power of EPA, but getting it packaged naturally with the Artery Repair Crew vitamin A and vitamin D from cod liver oil, and then making sure vitamin K2 is on board to handle the calcium.
It shifts the focus from just symptom management to actually optimizing the health of the entire vascular system, making it less sticky, less inflamed, smoother, more flexible, and even dialing down that initial stress trigger.
It all comes back to that morning rush, doesn't it? If our bodies literally ramp up clotting risk just because we're stressed waking up.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe the most profound intervention isn't just about what's on our plate. Maybe it's about finding ways to genuinely slow down that morning chaos. Could the ultimate artery unclogger actually just be a calmer commute?
Definitely something to chew on.